Hi, welcome back to my channel, Open the Door. This is episode 120, Crossing the Threshold into Universal Flow by Co-Creating with the Universe. Well, have you ever heard this term co-create before? How is that even possible, and what does it mean? That's what I'm going to talk about today. Have you ever noticed that when your heart, your mind, and your spirit are aligned, life flows more smoothly? Well, what is this co-creation? What is it referring to? It's talking about working with the universal energy and not against it. So before I get more into the co-creating, I talk about what this universal energy is. In the spiritual realm, universal energy is referring to the life force that flows through everything, the infinite intelligence that responds to vibration and intention. In the practical and more scientific areas, universal energy in physics shows that everything is energy, and on the quantum level, it also points out that all things vibrate. This energy is constantly vibrating. So the difference in doing this co-creating or just existing is that with the co-creating, we're not trying to force the outcome, but instead align with the flow of our lives and what's going on around us. An action that we do take is soul-driven, purpose-driven. So it's not about trying to control, but instead trusting and participating as life unfolds. Here's a few of the important ingredients for co-creating. The first one would be intention. So setting clear, heart-centered intentions and goals is one way to co-create. And then adding to that the belief and faith and trusting in unseen forces, trusting in the divine plan for our life. The action that we do take is inspired steps, not passive wishing and waiting for things to happen, but taking actual action toward these intentions that we've set, but also with an element of surrender, letting go of how and when the result that we're desiring, when it will arrive, and just trusting, as I said, in the divine flow as things unfold. Common blocks to co-creating with this universal energy include things like fear, doubt, attachment to outcome, trying to force things or control what's going on, and not practicing gratitude for what already is and what you already have can also block this co-creation that we can accomplish with the universe. So alignment does affect the flow and this co-creating. So here's how that works. When our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions align with these clear signals that we're sending to the universe, then the universe is able to mirror back to us this inner vibration, this energetic vibration that we're putting out. So here's an example of a negative way for that to work. When we're operating from a mind frame of fear and lack, then we're blocking the flow of abundance by operating from that mindset. So instead, we want to open our mind to gratitude and be grateful for what we do have. And that opens the door to the flow of abundance into our lives. And abundance doesn't just mean monetary, money type things. It can mean all types of things. It can mean honest friendships and relationships with others. Abundance can show up in many ways. So here's some practices that you can use to strengthen your co-creating skills. Meditation, of course, that brings clarity and alignment. Journaling is a daily practice you should be hopefully doing every day. Journaling your intentions, writing them down, can be very powerful. And then don't forget to practice gratitude for what you do have. Speak affirmations and state them as if they are true and they're already in the flow of your life and what's going on around you. So when you state affirmations or intentions, you don't say them from a place of want or need, but a place from gratitude, giving thanks for this thing that you're desiring as if it is so, as if it is already here. So take bold steps too when intuition nudges you in certain directions. Start following your intuition and see where that lies. That can definitely help to strengthen this co-creating process with the universal energy. Here's some everyday signs that you are co-creating. You're probably already doing it and don't even know it. So synchronicities and meaningful coincidences can show up when we're co-creating. Here's an example, thinking of someone you haven't spoken to in years and they call or message you. Or considering a particular location for your next vacation, and then seeing pictures and ads for that place start to show up in the next day or so. Another everyday example of co-creating that you might find in your life is when your flow states where everything feels connected. So let's say you leave out to run some errands, and every light that you come across is green. You arrive at the store and you find the perfect parking spot, and you're able to finish this shopping trip in record time. So that's an example of a flow state where everything feels connected, and just, even if it's just grocery shopping, every little step along the way has just kind of flowed. There has been no obstructions, no obstacles, no frustrations, no aggravations. Another example of co-creating that might show up in your life is when you get intuitive nudges that end up leading to perfect timing. So here's an example of that. You're taking a different route home, and it's not any route that you would normally take, but for whatever reason your intuition led you to take this other route, and you discover later that you avoided a bad accident and backed up traffic on the route that you normally would have taken. Here's another example of intuitive nudges. Your feelings are hurt from what you consider a snarky text message from a friend, and you type an unkind response, but you feel an inner voice telling you to pause. And while you're hesitating and pausing, your friend sends a text with an apology, clarifying their intent behind the previous comment. So that's a great example. Here's another example of co-creating showing up in your life. Manifestation of your inner alignment. Here's an example of that. Focusing on and practicing gratitude for financial stability when unexpected income appears as a refund, a gift, or an opportunity for increased income. And then the last example I have of co-creating showing up in our everyday lives would be subtle confirmations from nature and our environment. So we can ask for signs from the universe to confirm if we're on the right track. And these can show up as repeated numbers or hearing song lyrics that directly relate to your situation. So in close, just to kind of wrap up this whole idea of co-creating, it is about surrender, but also taking action, but with action that is driven with purpose and intent that we have set through our intentions, and then trusting in the process and allowing things to flow. It is possible to co-create by working with this energy and not against it. When we align our energy with the universal flow, we are harmonized into the greater energetic field. The universe then reflects back to us with opportunities, synchronicities, and support. So there's our episode for today. It's all about co-creating. I hope you've been doing well. I've got some more episodes lined up. Life has still been a little busier than I had thought. I thought things were winding down a little bit, but we just had a busy week in the music world. So I'm still plugging away. I'm not going anywhere, even if I do take a couple extra days before I get my next video out. But I'll be back very soon, I promise. In the meantime, take good care and have a great day. And that's it for now. Bye. Oh, I wish you peace, love, and light too. Okay, that's it. Bye.